Get you motivated.
Some people let me get them. I know they hate it cause we winning and motivated. Glistening and inundated with swagger. I'm trying to keep with my daughter to hear some bullshit. Not from Chicago, so don't talk to me about bullshit. Niggas in the motherfucking game wanna talk about the swag and the ice and the whips they drive. But a nigga like me getting bread, showing love, so the niggas don't respect my grind. It's going down, chasing the crown. About to be one of the illest around, like Justin Rihanna and Kanye. Nigga, I'm running the town. Slow it down, my rope was tight, so you can cut the. If you a dog, I'm Michael V. I take a nigga, girl, I don't play fair. I take him to the bedroom,
And they stay there.
I'm gonna climb, give me mine, running out of time, money on the line, gotta shine, give it a look out, when I try, won't stop, vision in my mind, rockstar on top. Wait a minute, when a nigga really get it, I'ma go off, I gotta prove it to him. I think I'm MJ, move on.
I'm trying to eat, you trying to sleep. If you a dog, then I'm a beast. So
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, misery bots of all ages, back again with another video. This time we're talking about how Mortal Kombat 11 grew the tournament scene for Mortal Kombat. But before we get into this video, if you like that intro music, definitely check out the Adrian Rockstar SoundCloud in the descriptions below. Let's get it. Now, first off, I gotta touch on other games, you feel me? Like other games that are actually bigger in terms of entry than Mortal Kombat games are, which are like Tekken and Street Fighter. Those are two games that tend to have more entries than Mortal Kombat. And when you look at the viewership for those games, the most recent ones, you know, being outside of the newer ones, I'm not going to count the newer ones just yet because they're still fairly new. The more recent ones, such as like Tekken 7 and Street Fighter 5, they actually have respectable viewing numbers, and the viewing numbers being as high as it is shows that the tournament scene for those particular games are growing and are relatively healthy. And when you look at like Tekken 7, I mean, even last year, they had views of over 100,000. They got views right here for 313,000. They have views right here for 281,000. So the views were actually pretty good. This view right here with 178,000. So the views for Tekken 7, even though that game was as old as it was 9 years old or something like that, it was still getting good views. The tournament scene for that game was really strong. Nobody will complain at the fact that Tekken 7 did not grow the tournament scene, because it absolutely did. Tekken is bigger now than it ever was, and it was in part due to Tekken 7 and its how good of a game it was, and maintaining its player base, and just maintaining the tournament scene the way it was. Another game you can add that grew the tournament scene was Street Fighter 5. Now, Street Fighter has always been a really big game at tournaments and stuff like that. And, you know, Street Fighter 4 was just a juggernaut. But Street Fighter 5, for the most part, continued that. Now, Street Fighter 5, when it first launched, wasn't really all that great of a game. But by the end of its life cycle, it was a great game. And Street Fighter 5 was around 6-7 years or something like that before Street Fighter 6 came out. It was out for a while. But even here, like in 2022, you can see views of over 200,000 views. You have this one for 2022, top 8 with 819,000 views. You have this one right here, which is an Evo of 2017, which was over 2 million, almost 3 million views. So Street Fighter 5, but for all intents and purposes, helped continue to grow the tournament scene for the Street Fighter community. Now you look at like MKX. MKX is actually really the game that really sparked the whole tournament scene, which really grew the tournament scene for Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat has always had a tournament scene. And MK9 was the one that really sparked it off. MKX grew it to where it was on the map with MKX. You know what I mean? Like MK9 started it off, like really started it off, because it was, you know, tournaments prior to that, but they were always smaller tournaments. Mortal Kombat 9 was the one that really started it off for real. And MKX just skyrocketed it to put like Mortal Kombat on the map in terms of the tournament scene. You feel me? And that reflects on the views you can see for Mortal Kombat X. I mean, you got views here, which is 100,000 views. Now this says 6 months ago. That's actually really good. You know what I mean? Like Mortal Kombat X came out 8 years ago or something like that. It's been out for a minute, but for it to get 100,000 views 6 months ago, that's amazing. For a $3,000 tournament, it's a top 8. Yeah, that's actually really good. You got this one right here, 3.3 million views. This was 8 years ago. It's in the millions. Now, 3.3 million views, that's more than anything I've seen from like Tekken 7 and Street Fighter. I think Street Fighter had like one for 2.7 million right here. I'm not sure if Tekken had anything. I think it did have one in like the millions, but it wasn't 3.3 million. So Mortal Kombat X being able to like bring in these type of numbers, you have one from here 7 years ago with almost 600,000 views. You know what I mean? Like that's good. Those are good numbers. That's growing the tournament scene because you're gonna have people like myself watching these tournaments and then wanting to not only continue to play the game even more, but also want to compete in these tournaments. And that's big. That's really good for the tournament scene. But then you have Mortal Kombat 11, which continued. Like, it's not often that you will have a game that will just continue to have the tournament scene grow. And Mortal Kombat 11 absolutely did that. Here, just last year in 2022, not last year, but 2 years ago, Evo of 2022, there was 873,000 views for this fight. 870,000 views. And this, mind you, this game hadn't had any updates in what, a year or two prior to this Evo happening, but yet there was still enough people interested in the game, interested in the tournament scene to gather 870,000 views. You have this one. This one's actually from last year where it's over 360,000 views. You have this one from Waz's stream, which is 248,000 views. Now I'm using YouTube because YouTube is the biggest streaming platform, so it's a pretty good representation of the people watching the channel. Now, this right here, Mortal Kombat 11, 6.4 million views 4 years ago. 4.4 million views. Both of those are actually higher than the 3.3 million views on Mortal Kombat X. That's it. In fact, I haven't even seen anything higher than 3.3 million for the MKX in terms of the views. If you have, leave it in the comments below. I'm curious to know which video that is. But if you look at Spun's videos right here, he has several videos that are in the millions for MK11 tournaments, which is insane. That this just further shows like the tournament scene for MK11 was growing. It grew from MKX. You had more people interested in MK11 than MKX. But that's good. That's progress. I mean, even if you like click on Spun's channel, right? You click on Spun's channel. You go to his videos, but if you look at his subscriber, he has, I'm not going to say only because only 127,000. That's still a lot of subscribers. He has 127,000. You know what I mean? His MK1 videos, they're getting 400,000, which is still not bad. You know what I mean? 400,000 views, almost 300,000 views are still not bad. But none of this, for somebody who has 127 subscribers, to have videos that have 6 million views, to have 4 million views is insane to me. You have Sonic Fox with over 500,000 views for his videos. Like this video right here from Spun's, 727,000. That's progress. That goes to show like Mortal Kombat 11 was a good enough game to where it actually continued to grow the tournament scene after MKX. So yeah, so if anybody tries to tell you like, MK11, was bad, like this is just further proof like it's impossible. The numbers don't back up the fact that it's bad. Like 6.4 million people will not view a tournament for a bad game. That's not 873,000, 4.4 million people will not view a tournament for a bad game. So that's it. That's all I wanted to touch on in this video, that like MK11 grew the tournament scene for Mortal Kombat. It grew it bigger than any other NetherRealm game before it. Granted, MK9 was the starting point, MKX put it on the map, but MK11 took it to the stratosphere. And that's all I want to touch on in this video. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And remember, your life is a fantasy.
Boys in the hood with big dreams of being superstars. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't, but you gotta work super hard.